The Emperor's egg. Down at the very bottom of the world, there's a huge island that's almost completely covered in snow and ice. It's called Antarctica, and it's the coldest, windiest place on Earth. The weather's bad enough there in summer, but in winter it's really horrible. It's hard to imagine anything actually living there. But wait! What's that shape over there? It can't be. Yes, it's a penguin. It's not just any old penguin either. It's a male emperor penguin, the biggest penguin in the world. And he's doing a very important job. He's looking after his egg. He didn't lay it himself, of course. His mate did that a few weeks ago. But very soon afterwards, she turned round and waddled off to the sea. That's where female emperor penguins spend most of the winter, swimming about, getting as fat as they can, eating as much as they can, and generally having a very nice time, as far as you can tell. Which leaves the father penguin stuck on the ice with the egg. Now, that's the most important thing about egg sitting, is stopping your egg from getting cold. That means it has to be kept off the ice and out of the wind. And what better way to do this than to rest from your feet and stuck right up under your arms. And that's how he'll stay for the whole months until his egg is ready to hatch.
Mr. Wolfe and the enormous turnip. One day, Mr. Wolfe found a most peculiar thing in his garden. It was a great, big, enormous turnip. Yum, yum, he said, licking his lips and the thought of the spicy turnip stew for supper. He rubbed his paws together and set about picking the turnip. But even though he pulled and tugged, the turnip would not move. Suddenly, a croaky little voice called out from behind the bushes. "Won't somebody help me, please?" It was a little frog, and he had a very sad tale to tell. "Once I was a handsome prince, then a horrible witch cast a spell on me, and now I'm a frog," said the frog. "Only a kiss from a princess will..."
The stretch of road that leads out of the city, past Hazy Harbour and into the town of Tedia, is perhaps the most unpleasant in the world. It is called Lousy Lane. Lousy Lane runs through fields that are a sickly grey colour, in which a handful of scraggly trees produce apples so sour that one only has to look at them to feel ill. Lousy Lane traverses the Grim River, a body of water that is 9/10 mud and that contains extremely unnerving fish, and it encircles a horseradish factory, so the entire area smells bitter and strong.
Mr. Fox had not spoken for a long time. He had been sitting quite still, his eyes closed, not even hearing what the others were saying. Mrs. Fox knew that he was trying desperately to think of a way out, and now as she looked at him, she saw him stir himself and get slowly to his feet. He looked back at his wife. There was a little spark of excitement dancing in his eyes. What is it, darling? Said Mrs. Fox quickly. Just had a bit of an idea. What? They cried. Oh, Dad, what is it? Come on, tell us quickly. Well, said Mr. Fox. Then he stopped and sighed and sat down again. It's no good, it won't work. Why not, Dad? Because it means more digging. And we aren't any of us strong enough for that after 3 days and nights without food. Yes, we are, Dad, cried the small foxes. We can do it. You see if we can't. So can you. Mr. Fox looked at the 4 small foxes and he smiled. What fine children I have, he thought. They're starving to death and they haven't had a drink for 3 days, but they're still undefeated. I must not let them down. I suppose we could give it a try, he said.
Who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya?
Looking into the inside, she saw several coats hanging up, mostly long fur coats. There was nothing Lucy liked so much as the smell and feel of fur. She immediately stepped into the wardrobe and got in among the coats and rubbed her face against them, leaving the door open, of course, because she knew that it is very foolish to shut oneself into any wardrobe. Soon she went further in and found that there was a second row of coats hanging up behind the first one. It was almost quite dark in there, and she kept her arms stretched out in front of her so as not to bump her face into the back of the wardrobe. She took a step further in, then 2 or 3 steps, always expecting to feel woodwork against the tips of her fingers, but she could not feel it. This must be a simply enormous wardrobe, thought Lucy, going still further in and pushing the soft folds of the coats aside to make room for her. Then she noticed that there was something crunching under her feet. I wonder is that more mothballs, she thought, stooping down to feel it with her hand. But instead of feeling the hard, smooth wood of the floor of the wardrobe, she felt something soft and powdery and extremely cold. This is very queer, she said, and went on a step or 2 further.
Who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya?
One morning, Maleficent was messily munching on a blueberry scone while tossing crumbs to her favourite crow, Opal. It had been more than a year since Nanny had found the tiny Maleficent and taken her into her home. She had given the girl time to become comfortable in her new surroundings before bringing up school, and now Nanny decided it was time to broach the subject. It's time to think about your education, my darling. You must learn your fairy magic. But I'm not a fairy, Maleficent protested. Of course you are, my dear. What in the fairylands gave you the idea you weren't a fairy? Nanny asked. I don't know. Right, you don't know, and that's exactly my point. There are many things you don't know, and the only way you will learn them is by going to school. But nothing, Nanny said firmly.
Who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya?
A soldier came, marching down the road. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Good morning, sir, croaked an ugly witch sitting at the roadside. If I do as I say, I will make you very rich. You see that huge tree there? The witch pointed over to an old oak. It is quite hollow. You must climb to the top, wriggle through a hole, and then lower yourself down the inside of the trunk all the way to the bottom. You will see 3 doors. Open the first one, and you will find yourself inside a room where a frightening dog sits on a box full of money. Spread my blue and white checked apron onto the floor, put the dog onto it.
Who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya?
Harry and the dinosaurs were helping to pack his first sleepover bag. Nan put in Harry's pyjamas, his wash bag and his clean clothes for the morning. Harry put in his special box for his badges and shells, his lucky lights, plenty of cars and robots, plus a bedtime book and some moss for the dinosaurs. Sam said that they didn't need all that junk and it was stupid putting moss in. Harry said, no, the moss is for the dinosaurs and to make sleeping bags if they want. He thought they might get scared and homesick at his friend Jack's house. Harry could tell that Mum and Nan were worried about leaving him, but Jack's Mum and Dad were nice and Jack showed him all the good places to hide in the house. Rah! Seek me, said Triceratops. Guess where I am, said Skedlosaurus. For a treat, Jack's dad took them to the ladder into the attic and showed them the back.
The Three Little Pigs. The animal I really dig above all others is the pig. Pigs are noble, pigs are clever, pigs are courteous. However, now and then to break the rules, one meets a pig who is a fool. What, for example, would you say if strolling through the woods one day, right there in front of you, you saw a pig who'd built a house of straw? The wolf who saw it licked his lips and said, that pig has had his chips. Little pig, let me come in. No, by the hairs of my chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in. The little pig began to pray, but Wolfe blew his house away. He shouted, bacon, pork and ham. Oh, what a lucky wolf I am.
We're going on a bear hunt, we're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day! We're not scared. Uh-oh, grass. Long, wavy grass. We can't go over it, we can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy. We're going on a bear hunt, we're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day! We're not scared. Uh-oh, a river. A deep, cold river. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Splash, splosh, splash, splosh. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, mud. Thick, easy mud. We can't go over it. We can't go